What's up, guys? Today I'm gonna go over my vlogging gear setup. I just got several new cameras and some new equipment to attempt to make 2017 the best year of my life, hopefully. So we'll see how it goes. But just gonna go over some of the stuff that we got here and why I chose these items. Mainly a lot of Sony products. I prefer Sony. They're very compact, very lightweight to carry around. I've been with Canon for several years until I finally made the switch. Canons are just massive beasts of cameras, so I just got sick of lugging these things around. Not to say they're not great cameras, nor Nikon. It's really just personal preference about what you like and what fits you. And for me, Sony's products kind of fit for what I try to do, making it light and compact to travel around. For instance, I'm shooting on the new Sony RX100 Mark V, which is an excellent little camera. I can actually see myself in the little flip screen on the reverse side of this, so it's nice to be able to actually see what I'm videotaping as I'm doing it. We just wrapped up the trading session here, guys. If you want to take a look at what I just made today, I locked in 3,300, not locked in, I'm still short, INAP, 21,000 shares at 175. It dropped down to 158 today, so I'm hoping to see this thing continue to drop down to about 150, continue to make some bank. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm heading to Mexico City for New Year's. But anyways, guys, let's take a look at some of this gear I'm going to be bringing with me on the next vlog down to Mexico City. All right, so let's check out some of this crap that we got here. Not crap, it's great stuff, but just got a lot of junk on the table. So first up, the A7 II. This is what I've been shooting with for the last year and a half. It's a great camera, full frame. It is a little bit bigger than what I'm trying to go for. I've just been looking for more and more compact cameras, more and more ways to minimize all the stuff I have to carry around. It's a little pain in the ass. When we were down in Dominican Republic, I literally had an entire suitcase dedicated to a bunch of camera equipment that I was carrying with me to be able to travel around. So it's a huge pain in the ass. I'm just trying to make it as easy as possible to get great video without having to carry around a massive suitcase with all this gear. So this is what I've been using for the last year or so. It's a great camera. The only complaint I have about it is the autofocus. Maybe I just don't have the settings right on it, but a lot of times the autofocus can be somewhat of an issue shooting with different lenses and whatnot. Another thing I like about Sony is the ability to have extremely small lenses that are still great quality. So I have the 50mm, the 1.8 35mm. I actually had the Zeiss 32mm one, but the autofocus on that, compatible with the Canon, was very loud and didn't work nearly as good as an actual Sony lens. So I recommend going with Sony lenses to use with your actual Sony cameras. Just the autofocusing is a lot more compatible with that. So those are the two lenses. I'm actually selling this camera, just trying to get rid of the bulk again, and I just picked up the brand new Sony a6500, which is an awesome little camera. It's not a full frame, but listen, I'm just doing vlogs. I'm not a freaking professional production company. I'm just here to try to make entertaining content for you guys. So this is actually a great camera, shoots 4K, it does everything I needed to do, even more so. Better autofocus than this camera. The only downside is that it's not full frame and it actually doesn't have an input for headphone monitoring, but it does, as opposed to I used to have the A6000, it does have the actual input for the mic here on these on the Sony a6500. So if you really want to get better audio quality rather than the onboard system, or actually adding in this Sony microphone that I have here, you can put something that you can actually get great audio quality, which is what I have, the wireless Sennheiser SK100 or EW100 G3, which is great if you're looking for some wireless lapel audio. It's a lot better than just an onboard mic. You really get that clear sound having it attached to your neckline here. As opposed to right now, I'm just using the onboard audio on top of the RX100 Sony. So these are great if you're doing some trying to do some high quality audio production in addition to your shooting. All right, guys, so this is where I live in San Diego, out here on Sail Bay. Not a bad place. It is November 9th and it's supposed to be 90 degrees outside, so this is absolutely amazing. Not much to complain about. next we have the Sony monitor here. Great for when you're doing high production things if I have somebody else doing the videoing other than me. And when I do that, for instance, when I'm doing like a walkthrough of the cribs video or something, typically, you know, we would have this big boy, the Ronin M image stabilizer, which is an awesome tool. It's just, again, a massive thing that I got to carry around. That's a huge pain in the ass. So on this last trip, I replaced this with the Xiaomi Crane. If I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's a lot more compact. I actually have it mounted on a mini little tripod here, which is what you use to actually turn it on and stabilize it. This thing works great once you get it all balanced and functioning. My only downfall that I had with it is, even with just the Sony a700, which is a still pretty light DSLR camera, this is the mirrorless bigger Xiaomi Crane. I had to actually physically tape, with a 30mm lens on, I had to actually tape 3 batteries on the front of the lens to try to get the weight bearing on the front more so that it could actually hold itself up. So that was an issue that I had with the Xiaomi Crane, just shooting with an a7 II and a 30mm lens, which is basically a pretty lightweight setup. I guess because it's maybe made for a bigger camera like a Canon, with a bigger lens that's going to be protruding out more, there's obviously a lot more weight on that. But with a small lens here on the Sony a7 II, I had to tape weight using just AA batteries to actually make it balance and hold itself up. For audio, if I'm trying to get a little bit better audio than the onboard camera, we have the Zoom H1 handy recorder. You can also plug in your Sennheiser wireless lapel to get secondary audio. The only issue with that is you have to sync the audio. Basically, if you look at any sort of movie or something, a video production, they do the clap, take one, that's so they can sync up the audio. So it's a pain in the ass of post-production. You try to sync up audio. So it just is a lot easier to just use the onboard, but in some situations I may need to be using this. Another great and most convenient camera that I use is the iPhone 7. This is great audio, or not great audio, great video on the rear-facing camera. Very, very stable. It's almost like using one of these image stabilizers, as opposed to this. I just have this on a little selfie handheld stick for this. But when you walk around with an iPhone 7, the stabilization on it is almost mirroring something like a $700 Xiaomi Crane. So I'm not sure how they do it. I don't know why Sony or other people are not picking that up in just their DSLRs. They spent $1,000 on this RX100 when the iPhone, which isn't even a dedicated video camera, has such great image stabilization. The only problem with this is when you're doing like a vlogging selfie mode, the front-facing camera is terrible in low light conditions, so it really affects the flow of your videos. If you're trying to have continuous great video quality, then all of a sudden you're trying to do a front-facing selfie mode in any sort of low light situations, it becomes very grainy. So that's the only downfall of the iPhone 7. Hopefully in the next version, they pick that up. But it's very convenient. Obviously you always have your iPhone on you, so it's very convenient to just pull it out, and in whatever situation you're in, you're ready to shoot some video and capture that moment, as opposed to having to carry around a camera. That's exactly why I got the RX100 that we'll take a look at towards the end once I use a different camera. So I can put it in my pocket and have the ability to just whip it out and, that sounds kind of dirty, but whip it out and get whatever shot I need to with the RX100, so that's why I got that. For doing kind of action and water scenes, which is the only reason I would use this, is the GoPro Hero 5. I actually hate GoPro. I just think they suck. But it's great for underwater scenes, like if I'm trying to swim with some whale sharks or jumping into some shark-infested waters out in Hawaii. Great for that, and that's really the only thing I would use it for, is underwater scenes. They do have this cool joystick here for the image stabilization. Again, you know, why can't they just make it look great like an iPhone does without having to hold this stupid freaking joystick around and carry it around with you? I don't know how Apple does it, but they do a great job of that. Maybe Apple needs to get into the DSLR game and take over that industry just like they do and everything else. So that's kind of what I like about GoPro, basically just underwater scenes for that. What else do we got here? Oh, hello. My GoPro thing is freaking out. Let me turn you off. my tripod that I use, along with a fluid head mount there. So a lot of my scenes that I try to shoot, if I have a kind of stable shot or trying to do something different, more of a dynamic shot, you need a fluid pan head. I don't even know what they're called, top to your tripod. But this is the Manfrotto. I've got this, several years ago. It's the carbon fiber, so again, just trying to get lightweight, something that I can carry around with me very easily. And then I got this kind of little travel top. The best one I got here, I have two more. Again, Manfrotto, great company, great brand. This is the best one that I have. Definitely the smoothest shot. Again, this thing's just a freaking beast and not easy to carry around. So this is another version. This is the, not sure what model number is, NVH502H. Again, I got this several years ago along with this one. Both of them just a little bit too big, so I got the actual more mini travel one. They actually have an even smaller one than this that I picked up, and I sent it back immediately. It was the worst pan head fluid motion tripod head that I've ever used, and it was by Manfrotto, and just terrible, worst thing I've ever touched, and I sent it back immediately. So this is what I'll be taking with me to get some more dynamic range shots. In addition to that, I have again, you can just see how things just add up here. I have this slider here. This is the Lift OF Photo, Lift, LIFP slider. So sliders are really cool to get some dynamic shots where it's just a side-to-side motion that you can also do with the pan head. You can get a sliding shot with an additional, upwards or side-to-side movement, but sliders create some of the coolest dynamic shots you can create. So I try to bring this with me as much as possible. I don't know if I'll bring it to Mexico City. It's just, again, when you're traveling, you're trying to be on the go and just get shots really quick for some high production video and scenes that we do when I'm traveling, with all the day trading team. I'll bring this stuff, but I'm just going down with a girl for New Year's Eve down in Mexico City for 2 weeks, so probably won't bring this with me, but this is definitely something that I like to bring for some little bit more higher production quality video. But anyways, guys, again, I'll show you the RX100 just to show you some video from the iPhone 7 here, or what I have. I actually have it mounted on a Joby little mount. You can see we got the little Joby tripod here mounted up on top of my monitor here. I also have these LED monitors that are lights that I'm using to get some good light quality. I have actually little mini ones that I mount on top of my cameras, but I'm not exactly sure where they are at the moment. But you can see just a great looking camera. And this thing also, another cool thing about this camera is that it shoots at 960 frames per second. So I was actually using it, just testing it out. I'm not sure if I had the settings correct because the lighting was a little messed up. I think it might just be the fluorescent lighting that was in my kitchen at the time, so it's a little bit flickering, but you can see me testing it using a spray paint can and a lighter, the motion of how slow it actually goes. But anyways, guys, this is what I plan on creating the best year of my life, and documenting it on the Foos TV vlog. And I hope you join me on this journey and we all have a great year, maybe the best year yet. That's my goal. Anyways, guys, stay tuned. I'll be in Mexico City, heading out here. I don't know why I just looked at my watch. I'm leaving in 2 days, but heading out here soon on Saturday morning, and stay tuned to the next vlog.